Tune in to the Diva Hut.
Hey you guys, thanks for tuning in to the Diva Hustle Show. Today our guest is Sharon Wallen, right? She's a
Yes.
certified national board certified teacher and a lifetime achievement recipient, award recipient. Sharon has been teaching for over 32 years, right?
Yes.
So thank you,
Yes.
Sharon, for coming to sit with us and talk with us about your business and teaching. So tell us about, I know before we started taping, we was talking about the National Board of Certification. So tell us about the process and, why it's important that we have this discussion.
Pam, I thank you for the opportunity to visit with you and your guests
Yes.
on the Diva Hustle Show. I love the title.
Thank you.
of the
Thank you.
show. Thank you. And yes, National Board Certification started off in 1999,
Okay.
and I achieved mine in 2001.
Okay.
And only 3% of America's teachers are national board certified. I encourage my colleagues who are listening to this to pursue it. There are many advantages to that. It exposes you on such standards because it's professional standards, not only of your certificate or the age group of children, but also on things on communication, professionalism in the community that the school serves. And another great plus is for whatever certificate area or subject area you're certified in, that makes you capable to teach that area or subject or age group in any state in America. And that is huge for the hard work as teachers do. Our hearts are always there with children. And I would encourage my colleagues who are currently still working with kids to focus on that if they're able to. Pursue national board certification.
Now, was the process hard? Was it difficult, or did it require a lot of paperwork? Tell us about the process.
Great question. It is challenging, but it has changed since I took it in 01. Then there were 6 components to it, and we had to mail things in. Now it's only 4 components. So it has evolved over time. I have renewed my certificate twice. Initially, it would last for 10 years. So I got it in 01. By 2011, it was due. And then by this 21, last year that just passed. So even though I'm retired, it is so valuable that I renewed my certificate. Now I think, though, the terms might be 5 years, but it's absolutely worth it. It is costly to go through, but some states, I think, do provide some funds for teachers who might be going through the process. Also, you have to videotape. There are some components where you do have to videotape lessons with you showing the strategies, actively using those strategies to show competence in those areas. But it's absolutely worth doing. I taught for 32 years, and for 22 of those years, I was board certified. That's huge.
That's good.
What I offered to my students, to my community of colleagues, and in networking and in conferences or workshops that I provided, those were all impacted by that process and my goals or achievements since then.
So, a question: according to the American Psychology Association survey, they said that Generation Z, Generation Z is age group of 13 to 24, and they're going to be the ones that's going to be impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way? Or do you agree?
Yeah, I find that to be a huge finding. And since my work, I guess, with children and young people, and my own, I have a fabulous niece and nephew who are in that age group.
Mm-hmm.
And Pam, to be honest, I really found that impactful.
Okay.
Most of my career, what I found helpful was brain-friendly strategies. In other words, I remember one year I had a student and he came into my colleagues were saying to me, you know, Miss Wallen, I hear that you have X this year. I hear that X is in your class this year. And to me, I just saw the child as another student.
Right.
They always have, every child has an opportunity. And whatever he went through, and he would have seizures after a while and different things like that. But I want to let you know, Pam, that there was one time when we were going on a field trip, and I asked him, I said, which teacher would you like me to leave you with? Because we didn't have a nurse who could go with him on this trip.
Okay.
And his response to me was, I want to be with my teacher. I'll never forget that response.
Wow.
That means his relationship with his teacher, the positivity, the support, and the cohesiveness of the classroom climate, culture. He wanted to be with the group. I'll never, ever forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part, I guess, for working with kids, brain-friendly strategies, then when I saw that report, we all experienced the pandemic.
Right.
But remember, and I think you might even have heard this, I remember when I was going through 2020, I would be speaking with my financial advisor, different people, and we're all saying, oh my God, I've never experienced anything like this.
Right.
And when you think, they're 10, they're 13, they're 15, they're the ones who did school disruption.
Right.
They are the ones who experience can't go to school. They're the ones who are having to be tested and, you know, things up their nostrils and stuff. I just had my first one recently.
Okay.
So, you know, we're already adults. And so what they're saying that because they're the youngest, they will be living with the ramifications of all these experiences for a much longer time than the others of us.
Wow.
And then for all the disruptions that they faced,
Right.
the no social time with their friends, behind, for those who already had disadvantages and are behind, will be further behind. They do sense, and that's the American Psychological Association,
Mm-hmm.
mental health crisis is on our hand. And most people think we're already in it.
Right.
And will just, you know, go on in the future. So I am concerned about that. And I do have an answer. That's when I created my Grateful Reflections journal that has some strategies.
And so when you created the journal, what was your intentions when you started the journal? Was it just, did you create it just for like kids, or did you create it for adults?
Right. It was more, it's for the mental health crisis. So it can be for anyone.
Okay.
It's an answer. Usually also right now in the statistics, and this was in 2021, September, October. And the statistics were that there was an increase, 41.9% increase with active service members in our own United States of America,
Right.
that between the 30 and 20-year-old, so it's the young ones again,
Yeah.
and an active increase of 50% in suicide rate. Right, that thing with the vets were armed services was 41.9 suicide rate increase.
Mm-hmm.
Also with girls, an increase of 50% suicide. So it's about the mental health, the crisis, and it's feeling I don't have hope. I can't face today, And so it's my work has to do with giving people a handle on the day.
Mhm.
How can you start? Start with an inspiration. Begin with goal setting. Goal setting, when you start with a goal, the percentages show that those people lead to such productivity and achievement
Mhm.
that, you know, breaking down the self-talk
Mhm.
with self-affirmation. So that's what I did. Mine, anybody can use it, Pam.
Mhm.
It wellness strategies that they're learning.
I mean, I feel like it's important now, doing like you saying, journaling. A lot of people don't even know how to journal.
Yeah.
And I think right now, like you said, especially with the kids and adults,
Yeah.
during this time, we're all going through this experience all together.
Yeah.
And journaling and people really getting their feelings out is better than the keeping it in the self-talk.
Yeah. I agree with you. And there is even support. Oprah, who started at 15 with journaling.
Okay.
And I noticed recently now she does her magazines in quarters.
Okay.
And in this one, where Design the Life You Want,
Okay.
she has an article that journaling can change your life.
Wow.
So it's that important. And then she goes into how she started at 15 and now she, finds different ways. So you are right. You are right. Journaling, what it does, it's writing to get those emotions or whatever I'm feeling. I'm getting it out of my head, out of my body that might create anxiety or stress. I'm getting it on paper. And start anywhere they are. They can write, just list things down. They can write notes. They can, another good way is draw a picture of it and then label the picture.
Okay.
Whatever gets them started. My work is definitely a hand to move forward, but definitely you're empowered using this Grateful Reflections journal. But start wherever they are.
So when people purchase your book, what are some of the takeaways you want your audience to understand when they go purchase your Gratefulness Journal?
Yes. The Grateful Reflections journal is at Amazon.com or so. But what it is, Pam, when they go in, there are an inspiration, like what inspiration did I get today, whether from the universe or for me, I'm faith-based, so God, or, from a book or a journal or something, what inspiration? And then when a person is hopeless and they feel they don't have worth. So there are 3 different formats of affirmation here.
Okay.
And then I'm saying I have worth. And not that you're lying, because another thing somebody might think, okay, so I'm going to write an affirmation, but it's not true. Write something that's true. I am alive. I am breathing. I am thinking today. I wish myself well today. I love myself. Begin with the truth. So it's not you're going to make up a lie, but I have different affirmations there because, again, it's a teaching tool. So I'm also teaching. If someone doesn't know what's an affirmation, it leads you. I am, and they finish the sentence.
Right.
I have, and then the last one I put I, which is open-ended. Okay. And then they can just fill that in. If they want to draw a picture, they can just do that. They just want to write a word. It's their journal. It's a guided journal.
Okay.
And then there's a part, what are you thankful for today? Because that gratitude immediately changes mood. It boosts happiness. And just the outlook begins to look different. I'm thankful that I have a home today. I'm thankful for this pen or pencil that I'm using to write. I'm thankful for water to drink. I'm thankful I live in the United States of America. I'm thankful however they want to write it.
Right.
And then goal setting is also there that guides them. What do they want to achieve today? It could be simple. I just want to smile.
Right.
You know? So however they want to structure it. And they're in 21-day cycles because it's research based also. So Dr. Carolyn Leaf, her work says it takes 21 days for a new thought or a new habit to be formed.
Right.
And I have 5 cycles of 21 days in there.
Okay.
So even if there's a little miss, because what she says, there's a neural pathway of how we think or behave, and it's just natural. So that's why some things are automatic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I start in a new way and in day 6, I kind of go back, then they have to start over again and do 21. So then there are 5 cycles of 21 in this journal, and it empowers the user. It's research-based, it's health and wellness, and my answer to just giving a hand to anybody who holds it.
Now, question from a teacher perspective, do you
Yes.
feel like journaling and affirmations should be introduced to kids at a younger age?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in class, we had, and I know effective teachers, even at the school where I last worked, journaling was a part of even the subject areas. So I think there was a reading journal, there might have been a math journal, but absolutely, there are different ways, effective ways. Sometimes they even use them as a learning log.
Okay.
You know, you might even say, which question was the most challenging for you, and the kid can write about it. Or which one did you find, you know, most interesting, and they can write about it. Another way to use it in school, this is such a great question, Pam. Let's say they're going on a field trip or you're having a guest speaker come and visit. Then there's strategy and anticipation guide. So you label it anticipation guide and make a T-chart. So you draw the line down the middle, and then you put before and after. And then I would have them before we even get on the bus. So they would write what we're going to, let's say, an opera. And we did, our superintendent did expose us to things like that.
Okay.
And, what do you hope to see? So they would write that. And then when we return, they would write, what did you actually experience, or what did you learn?
Okay.
So those are just some ways of using a journal in school. And another way, and it's also great feedback for the teacher.
Right.
At the end of the day, I might have them just do a summary word. How would you summarize your day today? That is such great feedback.
Yes.
To be honest, for a teacher, because when you hear them saying positive things that, you know, I learned this, or, you know, exciting, or then, you know, they had something positive. They're going home, or when the bell rings at the end of the day and they go, oh, and that's a really great.
Right.
So,
yeah, because I know with my daughter, like beginning of the year, she's like, I don't like math. So I'm like, no, you don't say you don't like math. You say you love math. And so I started seeing, as we started working on it, just the information. I like math. I'm good in math. Then now, I was really surprised. She got an A in math. And I was like, this is the first time ever. But so that's why I asked your question.
Yes. Well, that's excellent. And then at home, then she could probably have her own little learning log at home, and you and her with your coaching can just even do that. And she can draw a picture like with that A. She can, one day she can probably put a date on it, because a date is always important. And I'll never forget when a teacher shared that. Always put the date, because first thing that happened to you when you were born, and that is so true.
That is.
So put a date on it, and especially with that A, because you want to celebrate it. And how do you feel with that A, and so and so? And it's okay if the next time she gets a B,
Right.
we reflect on that and then make a goal for the next time around. But celebrate, because another thing I noticed, Pam, when we get ourselves down at times, nobody really teaches us how to reward or,
Yes.
you know, so I think that's also another area of study. Just how do you reward? What are ways to reward yourself?
And I think that's key, especially right now dealing with the pandemic. I feel like we all should award ourselves because we made it through. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we don't give ourselves enough credit as a nation that we made it through.
I really agree with you. We hear so much of the beat down and fight about masks, but those of us who are breathing today,
right,
for what we heard in 2020 and that fear of the numbers increasing, none of us knew we would be here.
No.
So it took a lot of mitigation, a lot of carefulness for us to be here. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yes. So where can people purchase your book at?
Yes. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble. I know I've also seen it, Target and Walmart on their, website, but certainly Amazon.com. Grateful Reflections Journal. It's a powerful resource. And what I like is it's research-based. It's empowering. It gives them a handle on their day. And even at the end, because I have AM reflection and PM. If they want to do it all day, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But there's that part with a summary word. How then would I summarize today? And that is huge because that's critical thinking.
Right.
And it pulls everything together. So it's a great resource, and I like that it's research-based and helpful.
Yeah, I like that part too. So what's next for Miss Sharon? Where are you working on?
I recently attended the National Publicity Summit.
Okay.
That's where I met a fabulous young lady, aka Paris, France.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to her right now.
Yeah.
And so that was really a positive experience for me, to be honest. I've gotten quite a few appointments out of it.
Okay.
And I have a few lined up, and because of that momentum and positivity, I have now signed up for the Quantum Leap program.
Oh, congratulations.
So, thank you.
Okay.
So I am looking forward to the growth from that.
Okay.
And, the next chapter, the next level where it takes me.
All right. Well, thanks, Sharon, for stopping past. I appreciate your expertise in teaching. I mean, just your knowledge of teaching is, we need more of that. And your heart of learning and just understanding of reflection and journaling and just having people change the negative talk in their head is important. And the fact that you got a journal book that is research-based is key. And we appreciate you, and I appreciate you, and just keep doing what you're doing.
I thank you for the opportunity. I feel I have a friend or a little sister in Paris. So please stay in touch.
I will.
And best wishes with your fabulous daughter.
Thank you.
And more success to you. The Diva Hustle Show is a diva, and I thank you.
Thank you.
The hustle. It's the hustle show. We motivate the glow. We give you more info. Divas run the cloud. Divas run the glow. Fix my head to toe.